Introducing in the red corner, présenté dans le coin rouge, with head trainer Mark Ramsey. He weighed in at 175 pounds, wearing black trunks with white trim. His record, perfect. 19 fights, 19 wins. All 19 wins coming by way of knockout. He is a two-time Olympian. He is making his 8th world title defense. Le seul champion du monde avec une ratio KO de 100%. He is boxing's only world champion with a 100% knockout ratio. He is the reigning, he is the defending WBC, IBF, WBO light heavyweight world champion, and représentant Montreal, Quebec, Canada, Arthur Beterbiev.
John Jones is a bad guy. That guy, if we were living 1,000 years ago, he would be on a horse with the biggest battle axe, waiting in the back, hacking heads off, and everybody would be running. And those people have always existed. These dominators have always existed.
Shut up.
Sorry, champ. It was Jerry.
Time. This is the Nevada state rules only. Protect yourself at all times. I expect a tough, clean fight. Any questions from McNeely's corner? Any questions from Mr. Tyson's corner? Let's get it on.
John Gotti, now firmly in charge of the Gambino crime family, once again leaves court a free man. The dapper Don, with a flair for the media spotlight, appears untouchable.
There's no problem. No problem.
While Gotti makes a mockery of the court system and law enforcement, for some, the attempt to try to convict him has a higher price. In the course of the trial, the prosecution calls 2 of Gotti's crew as witnesses, and in doing so, reveals them as FBI informants. Two years after the trial, Willie Boy Johnson, a childhood friend of Gotti's, is found murdered. The other informant, Billy Batista, is never found.
Now, this incensed the FBI because it was giving away what they considered 2 valuable informers in essentially what they considered a weak case. And it caused not just a dispute, but a rift.
As each law enforcement agency sets their sights on Gotti, rifts and rivalries arise between them, seriously hampering efforts to convict him.
You had the FBI investigating him. You had the Queens DA's office investigating him. You had the Manhattan DA's office investigating him. You had something called the State Organized Crime Task Force investigating him. And they were actually, it's so comical, at one time, 3 of them had separate bugs in Gotti's Queens headquarters, the Bergen Fish and Hunt Club. I mean, it was a joke.
Next up to try and nail Gotti, the New York State Organized Crime Task Force. Its boss, Ronald Goldstock, believes that one of his bugs records Gotti ordering a shooting. So they become the 3rd organization to take on the Dapper Don.
In New York City this morning, the man police call the country's most powerful crime boss faces the possibility of life in prison for allegedly ordering the shooting of a union official.
That union official, John O'Connor, trashes a restaurant owned by a friend of Gotti's. In revenge, he is shot 4 times in the back, but survives. In the courtroom, witnesses testify that Gotti ordered the shooting, and Goldstock is convinced that he has the evidence he needs on the tapes.
My sense was everybody in the courtroom who was watching the case and how it went in believed there was going to be a conviction.
But when the tapes are played in court, the terrible quality of the recordings places the case in doubt.
A jury brought in its verdict today on the man called the Dapper Don.
How say you with respect to defendant John Gotti? We find him not guilty.
We were stunned by the acquittal of Gotti. We did not believe that that could have happened.
There was nothing to connect up Mr. Gotti from what happened. Zilch.